Let's go over some tips to save you some time and reduce the grind in Wild Hearts. First off, I want to thank EA for sponsoring this video and providing us a copy of the game. In the early stages of Wild Hearts, running around the huge locations can take a bit of time until you unlock more tents, which you can then fast travel to. Luckily, you unlock the Flying Vine very early into the game. These devices let you fly around from point A to point B very quickly, saving you a ton of time instead of running. The best place to build these zip lines are near your main starting camp, since that's the location you'll be spawning into most of the time, and so you'll get the most use of the zip lines there instead of some random location on the map. Connect multiple zip lines together to reach areas you visit often in no time. You're going to spend a lot of time in Wild Hearts collecting food and ingredients which are essential for buffing your character before a fight. You can enhance this food, which gives you bigger stat upgrades with equipment like the drying rack and the pickling jar. Upgrading your food takes time, however, usually about the span of one hunt. To get the most food profit out of your hunts, you can actually build multiple drying racks, which will then enhance more ingredients in the same amount of time. Throw as many into your game as your dragon pit allows for that map, then switch to a different map and do the same thing. Now, after every hunt, fast travel to your drying racks on each map and you'll have way more food ready for you to bring onto your next adventure. There are a lot of side quests in Wild Hearts which are given to you by the characters in the main hub town called Monado. Being a completionist, I can never resist completing these side quests, which usually entail defeating a certain monster and then reporting back to the villager. If you're curious, you can see the rewards before you complete the quest if you look in your quest menu. In my experience though, the rewards weren't crucial from a gameplay perspective, so don't stress too much about skipping some of these if you're trying to save some time. The one exception to this, however, is the side quest to upgrade the baths. Bring the requested materials to the character in this location and they'll upgrade the baths, which permanently increase your maximum health. That is pretty awesome as far as rewards go. The freedom given to players in Wild Hearts is very impressive. You can build structures pretty much anywhere you want on the map, and the most valuable structure would be your tent because it allows you to fast travel to its location from anywhere. In the very early stages of the game, you want to place your tents near the spawn points of the giant monsters, or kimono as they're called in the game. That way you're not wasting time running to the monsters before every hunt, you can just fast travel right to them. However, later in the game you can unlock the glider in your skill tree, which changes everything. Now if you want to maximize your time and get right into the hunting, I highly recommend tearing down your tents and rebuilding them at the highest elevated points on the maps. That way you can fast travel to your tent and then simply float down to anywhere you want. You can even build a tent on top of buildings like this castle. Bonus tip, build a wind vortex next to your camp for even more air travel distance. Once you discover and unlock a dragon pit, it will appear on your map. What some people don't realize is that you can upgrade the dragon pits right from the map, saving you a ton of time instead of traveling to each one individually. During your travels, you'll run into these little orb creatures which you can collect, called Tsukumos. They're sometimes very well hidden, but they do give off a faint chime sound when you're nearby them. The first one you find will become your hunting companion and will assist you on hunts by providing health and sometimes attacking the monsters. You can upgrade your companion by finding more Tsukumos out in the wild. While it may be tempting to search every inch of the map for these hidden companions, if you look in your skill tree you'll see an upgrade to your watchtowers that you can purchase, which will show you every single Tsukumo in the watch tree's search radius. This will save you a ton of time on your hunt for the little orbs if you save up your experience in the skill tree to upgrade your watchtowers. There are an absolute ton of weapon upgrades in this game. You have 5 different elements that you can choose from to infuse your weapons with, and each kimono has a weakness and strength towards each one. And bringing the right weapon element to a fight is absolutely crucial because you want to focus on the monster's weaknesses. To upgrade these weapons you need specific monster parts, which means fighting the same kimono multiple times. Now you can hunt the same monsters dozens of times if you want and collect enough materials to make a wide variety of weapons and armor. That's kind of the point of the monster hunting genre of games, and it does feel rewarding. But the thing is, if you want to save time, you really only need to focus on 2 elements, fire and water. The reason is that every monster in the game has at least a level 3 weakness to either water or fire. So if you focus on only upgrading 2 different weapons, one with fire and one with water, then you'll be set to take on pretty much every monster, and you'll have a really strong weapon on top of that since you weren't spreading valuable monster materials around to other weapons. The only exception to this rule is these pesky porcupine kimonos known as Gold Shard and Onyx Shard. For these guys, I would recommend a raw weapon, which is a weapon that has no element but very high attack stats. Their branch in the weapon tree is very easy to upgrade, and in the early game doesn't require any monster materials at all. You only need various ores that you'll find scattered around the world. So there you have it, plenty of tips to minimize the grind and keep your playthrough exciting and fast-paced. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you have any other tips for fellow hunters, or if you'd like to see more videos like this one, let me know in the comments below. Thanks!